Hello, everyone. Welcome to CIO Leadership Live. I'm Kirat Attar, Associate Editor at CIO, and I will be your host for this episode. Our guest today is Harvinder Singh Banga, CIO of CJ Darcl Logistics. Harvinder, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of CIO Leadership Live, and it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Harvinder, I'm very excited for this conversation. Let us get right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about CJ Darcl Logistics and your role and responsibility as the CIO of the organization?
Yeah, sure. So, CJ Darcl Logistics is India's largest logistic company. We are having a joint venture with CJ Group, which is a South Korea-based logistics group. And we provide end-to-end logistics solution, including full truckload, warehousing and distribution, freight forwarding, air cargo, project logistics, and all different kind of logistics solution from a B2B perspective. This is about my company. And as you asked about my responsibility also, as a CIO, my responsibility is to revolve around driving digital transformation, ensuring seamless technology integration to enhance operational efficiency, customer experience, and enabling decision making for my organization. Also, at the same time, I oversee strategic IT projects, cybersecurity related projects, and adoption of new age technologies to ensure we stay ahead of the curve.
Great. Thank you so much for that introduction, Harvinder. Lots of points that you highlighted about the organization and your role, and hopefully we'll be able to cover that in the course of this conversation. Let's start with the technologies that people are sort of talking about and leveraging in innovative ways to revolutionize their industries, particularly one like logistics. How is CJ Darcl using data and analytics to optimize the routes and channels for its logistics services, as well as offer tracking services to its clientele and customers?
Yep. So I think it's a very interesting question for us. Data and analytics are the heart of our logistics operation. So I give you example like at very high level. Normally, most of organizations use their different type of ERP, CRM solutions, logistics solution, and all. And from logistics perspective, we have huge dependency on IoT devices also, which is fitted on trucks, air and ships, and a lot of equipment which moves by consignment from one location to another location. So for us, data-driven approach become more crucial, and we see like data-related algorithms. We set it for our large operations used by control towers, where we have advanced route optimization algorithm to minimize transit time, reduce fuel consumptions, improving the vehicle utilizations. All these are our core objective of running our operation. And then our analytical platform provides insights into traffic patterns, weather conditions, load factor, and ensuring real-time decision making for our operations as well. At the same time, I think for customers also we build a robust tracking systems, and these tracking systems allow our client to monitor their shipments on a real-time basis, which enhances our transparency and trust level with the customer, and ultimately improve the efficiency of the overall process.
Thank you so much for that very insightful response. Like you rightly said, especially with the amount of demand that is there in nowadays, without data and analytics to optimize the business and this, I think you can easily run into very high overhead costs because you haven't optimized the lanes, etc.
Yeah.
So that's very true. So shifting a little bit from data to cybersecurity. As you know, cybersecurity threats are constantly on the rise, and I think we've seen very sophisticated techniques of hacking, especially in the last few years, as the hackers become very tech savvy as well. So I'd like to ask, with the rise in cyber threats, how is the organization addressing cybersecurity concerns in its operations while also ensuring confidentiality of its data and of client information, which I'm sure if leaked would cause a lot of losses and damage to both parties?
Right. You're right. Absolutely right. I think cybersecurity is again top priority nowadays. Having said that, in logistics and transportation, it entered at very late stage. because unlike organizations which have more control from like banking, finance, which have more control and governance towards RBI and other factors. But in logistics, there were no much governance earlier. So now government is also looking logistic and transportation side, and they are also improving policy towards this logistics industry as well. And now I think the core focus with the digital demand, improving and engaging the digital transaction with our customers, it is become imperative for us also to take care of the cyber security. We also have now implemented a multi-layered defense mechanism, including AI-driven threat detections, end-to-end encryptions, and periodic, vulnerability assessment, and all everything which should be the roadmap of any organization is also now a roadmap of logistics organization also. That too we have also adhered to. Not only that, I think from a global cybersecurity framework perspective, we have also implemented ISO 27001 to safeguard our data and client information. And now, if you look into our security landscape, we regularize the entire cybersecurity awareness program for our end-to-end, people, not just IT, but the end user as well. And at the same time, we do mock drills and a lot of efforts towards securing the entire ecosystem from a security standpoint.
Just as a follow-up, are your employees also included in the mock trials, etc., that you're doing of these programs?
Yes, yeah,
All right,
we
great,
do.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the one thing that comes up again and again in surveys and research is that the human error, or the spam links, the phishing links, those are the attacks that often escape even the best encryption firewall systems.
correct, correct. So, a very good question. I think I tell you if you look into the end users or the operational users who are in logistics industry, those are not much of the white, collar people. You have
Yeah,
truckers, you have people
the
who
blue
run
collar.
the trucks,
Yeah,
like drivers are there,
yeah.
loader unloaders are there, or the black collar, guys. And you have to teach them about the cyber security. You have to guide them because they are now using our lot of application also. Driver
Mm,
have driver application, loading supervisor have their own application. So from that perspective, it become very important for us to make them aware about all this security perspective. I think from that sense, it's quite challenging,
mm,
making learn the white collar people about the security versus
yeah.
the gray collared or black collared people to learn the security. But I think that's our continuous efforts, and somewhere we have seen a win there as well.
Thank you so much. That actually makes a lot of sense because you have to evangelize the technology and all of its caveats and benefits right to the
Yeah.
last level employee as well. So that's very effective. So coming a little bit to the company's philosophy, CJ Darcel's core philosophy is humanizing efficiency. Now, on one side, you have humanizing efficiency. On the other hand, we do have the rising prevalence of generative AI, which is supposed to work complementary with talent in order to take businesses to the next level, make it more efficient. But how are you leveraging something like generative AI or these emerging technologies at your organization, all while ensuring that you retain and nurture the right talent?
Right. I think you rightly said it complements each other. There the answer also lies. And we have a very specific purpose on both the side, technology as well as human, because we are very much human-centric operational organization. So if you see from a technology perspective, we use generative AI for very advanced features like predictive analytics, automated documentations, virtual assistant, which enhance our customer and employee experiences. But from a human perspective, we need to balance between both human expertise as well as AI capability. So we maintain a people-first approach in all the processes. By having said that, we have a talent retention policies where we upskill our people by doing a lot of workshops, certifications, and hands-on on various technology, including AI and generative AI as well. So from that perspective, if you look into the core philosophy of the organization, which is humanizing efficiency, guides everything we do, including how we approach and leverage emerging technologies like generative AI or be it any other technology, offers incredible potentials to optimize operations, drive innovation, and enhance customer experiences. But our focus remains on integrating these advancements in a way that complements human talent rather than replacing it. So from that perspective, I guess we are balancing both. Our focus is very output oriented from the operational standpoint.
That makes a lot of sense, and I think that sort of assurance is also important to the people who are working on their talent and skills. But of course, the little fears or the little market rumors, of course, remain about how technology and human talent is supposed to work alongside each other.
I think this not just happening with the generative AI or AI. I still remember two decades before, or about 25 years before when I started my career, when from a manual processes we were moving to the computerization. People had a same fear at that moment also.
Yes,
That
that's
what
true.
will happen when computer will come. But we were guiding people also at that time that we need more people to run this computer, and that
Computer.
become a truth. Right. I think from AI and generative AI also perspective, the quality, they're complement to the quality of the output, but not replacing the human from that.
That's a very interesting and very true parallel. So thank you so much for that. Uh, so coming to sustainability goals, which I think have become uh, as the years pass very important for organizations to make sure that they're giving back as much as they get from the resources of a country and the world. Um, CJ Darcel's purpose has also been around reducing carbon emissions using technology. So, as the CIO, can you speak of this commitment to sustainability and how you and your department contributes to it?
Yeah, sure. So, sustainability is very important for industry like us, because if you look into the kind of scale we manage, we have about 1 lakh plus transactions a month, where we are moving material from one location to another location. So, the kind of mass, the transaction we are managing with about 20,000 plus fleet within a month, we have to have focus on the sustainability. We have no choice out of it. So sustainability is a cornerstone for our strategy. We leverage IoT for energy efficient fleet management. We have a lot of sensors fitted in our vehicles. We deployed electric vehicles, especially for our last mile deliveries. And at the same time, we have optimized warehouses operation to reduce the emission and other energy consuming elements. At the same time, our data calculates and track carbon footprint. This is very interesting, where we are enabling our customer and operation to have a informed decision on their carbon reduction, and we are taking all decisions eco-conscious decision. For an example, if let's suppose your consignment have to go from A location to B location, right? Now, which mode of transportation or which mode of logistics services you should take to have a lesser carbon footprint and fastest and economical way of reaching the material. It could be road versus rail, it could be rail versus air, it could be air versus ship, but we always give that economics to our customer to take that decision. And at the same time, as a CIO, I also ensure all these tech implementation align with our sustainability goals, making logistics more greener while maintaining all the efficiency and everything we need around the our logistics landscape.
Thank you, sir. That makes a lot of sense. And also I think the balance between efficient business while also measuring up to your sustainability goals is the delicate balance that all industries are trying to achieve today. That's great to know. For my final question for this conversation, um, Arvinder, what has been your strategic vision for driving digital transformation within CJ Darcel Logistics? Because, like you mentioned, some technologies have come late. Some technologies may not have been integral to logistics business from the beginning, because it's fairly mechanical oriented, transport oriented. But now that the technologies are coming in, what does your vision look like for digital transformation? And how do you ensure business IT alignment in the present and in the future?
Uh, my vision is to create a digitally enabled logistics ecosystem. When I say ecosystem, that connects all stakeholders from transporters to drivers to customers, everyone which comes across the life cycle of any logistics, which involves modernizing our transportation management system, automating all the workflows, building real-time visibility across operations, uh, and business IT uh, uh, is a very core business for us. I would say within the IT, we have a specialized IT which core focus on this kind of vision only. So why I'm saying this, normally there are two track of IT which we have. One is the regular IT work where maintenance and keeping lights on are there. And there's another track which is a core focus on the business IT, every time focusing on the operational side of it. And those tech members are not just IT guy, they are mix of business and IT, which we are running within IT system only. So, from my perspective, how I am going to align and how I'm aligning right now also is more of a collaborative planning. Most of the time, what happens is like IT decisions are taken on silos. Sometimes business are doing at their level, sometimes IT is doing at their level. But here at CJ Darcl, we take collaborative planning where we involve business fully in our planning process. So they keep along with us throughout the implementation. Their support is always there. So adoption is never a challenge for us then. Cross-functional leadership discussion. So most of the time, I think what CXOs forgot about, discussing with other uh, CXOs within the organization to have their, candid discussion on the outcomes that we are very much focused so that we can align our business accordingly. And third and foremost and important for us is the output-based KPIs. This is very much important for us where we are not doing any tech implementation for the sake of saying we have done AI or blockchain or
Yeah.
something like that, but more focused on the solving the business problem. So when we are solving the business problem, there is some business objective, either tangible or intangible. From that perspective, I think we are measuring it very deeply, and this outcome-based KPIs also become very important for us, aligning ourselves within business and technology as a future go as well.
That Thank you so much for that response, Harvinder, and thank you so much for your candid responses through this conversation about how data is very integral to you, about everything that you're doing to secure your digital borders and frontiers and secure information, and how ensuring that staying people first as an organization is important to you, and putting the ecosystem first is a top priority for CJ Darcel Logistics. I think it has been a very enlightening conversation and great to know how you balance all the various aspects so that the industry, the organization can do more, can make more, and can serve more people while staying environmentally conscious and socially conscious. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Harvinder. And to all of our viewers, thank you so much for watching us. Until next time, this is Kirat signing off from this episode of CIO Leadership Live.